How do you make $1,000,000? And how do you make $1,000,000 faster? So I did the math and I have made over $1,000,000 in my last 10 years of working. I started working when I was 18 and I did the math and I think I'm at like 1.5 million or 1.2 million since I started working. I think when I was actually 16. So we're gonna go over all the lessons I learned to make that million and what I'm doing to turn that 1 million in like 10 years to 1 million in 5 years. Okay. Number one, and I literally write all this stuff to myself every quarter, is I wish I could fire people faster. I wish someone told me this. Do not give people chances. When people fuck up once or twice, that tells you a lot. And if they are not fixing the mistake within a week, fire them. No one is going to tell you this. People are going to tell you, especially if you're working with contractors outside of the United States, I would say, do not give second, third, fifth chances. Number two, fuck other people's opinion. Let your mind be the loudest in the room. I cannot tell you how many times I've almost gone out of business because someone told me what I was doing was wrong or that they didn't understand it. And I'm like, okay, let me just give up and start something else. And there was a time where it was like I was questioning everything. I was second guessing everything. And I almost burned my business at that time that was making $150,000 to the ground. That moment when I was believing everyone else over myself, because something that's really important for you is no one is in your shoes. No one has lived your life in your shoes for as long as you have. So when you ask for other people's advice, they only know maybe 5% of your life and you're the only one that knows 100%. And I wish someone told me this. No one is going to give you the perfect advice. That's why it's always best to just listen to yourself. I could ask my parents, I could ask my sister, I could ask my business coaches, but zooming out, no one has the context of my life that I have. So for example, I remember when I was talking to one of my guy friends and I was like, oh, should I just Uber everywhere? Should I buy a car? And as a guy, my guy friend was like, yeah, just Uber everywhere. It makes more financial sense. But in the context that person was missing is how much harassment on public transit, subways, and things like that was taking out of me. Like I would come home and be depleted. And of course that person wouldn't know and I didn't have the words to articulate when I was talking about this problem. So you have to understand that no one's going to have the complete context of you as a woman, if you're a woman of color. When you ask people for advice, they're not seeing your life in that lens. They're seeing it from their viewpoint. So that's why I'm like, it's never a great reason to just trust someone else's opinion over yourself. Number three is go with the person whose words you understand the fastest. So I've hired, I think at this point, maybe like 5 business coaches. And I wish I went with the people who I understood the most. So it's not about like who necessarily gives you the best strategy, but whose words you understand. I remember I had a coach and it took me 12 months to figure out one thing they were telling me. And I would have them repeat it back to me multiple times. I would have them say it to me in different ways. But then I went to another coach and I remember in one session, they just got what I was dealing with and they understood how to verbalize it to me in a way that I understood, right? So number 3 is go with the team member or the coach that makes you understand what they're saying the fastest. It shouldn't take months to figure out what they're saying. You should be able to get their feedback and implement it at lightning speed. And if that feedback loop is taking too long, it's time for someone else, someone that speaks the same language as you. And I don't just mean English, I meant like someone that either comes from the same background as you, someone who understands where you came from. It doesn't necessarily mean someone has to be in the same industry, but someone who gets the context without you having to explain yourself.